Hello ladies and gentlemen, today in this video I'm going to be at a side angle because I'm going to be showing you guys how to apply all of the armor, all of the materials that are going to be coming in my armor battle pack. So, I know I've talked about this for a long time, actually a very long time, and I probably made a lot of you mad because I haven't posted these yet, but I've been trying to do some fine tuning and there's going to be a lot of different variations of this, obviously, because I can make different packs with different materials and different items, so I'm trying to figure out just how to do that because obviously if I'm going to put more in it, it's going to be more expensive, so I'm trying to get the cheapest version I can get that has everything you guys would want and can afford. So with that being said, this pack right here is going to cost $5. Very cheap. It's going to come with all the armor you're going to need for your custom. Actually, I have sorry, I made this right here. Everything you see on this figure that's red will come in the pack. So this is actually not paint. I actually used a permanent marker to put this on here. I'll probably go over and paint over, but I think it looks pretty good. I know I say a lot about Sharpies, but I didn't say anything about Sharpies on top of metal because then you're technically adding customization to something that's already been customized. Anywho, all the pieces in red will come in this pack. So you get the knee pads, the centerpiece, 4 pieces for the belt, and then you'll get the shoulder pad, the elbow pad, the gauntlet. I guess that's like the forearm, or not forearm, that's the bicep pad. I don't even know what you would call that. Then of course you're going to get the thermal detonator. It also comes with a comma, and then you'll get the neck guard right there, and then 2 pieces of fabric for the legs. So that's, if you do the math, I should have counted this out before. Let's see, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 pieces. Oh, sorry, 20. You'll get 20 pieces of armor for your custom. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to apply all this to the figure. And then hopefully once you purchase these, you can refer to this video as how to apply it, unless you guys want to figure it out on your own. It's like a puzzle, I guess, a very complicated puzzle if you want to look at it that way. You can do it on your own. But what you're going to do is you're going to take your battle pack once you have received it, empty the contents out somewhere where you will not lose them, or you can take them out one at a time. It's all up to you. Now when I put my customs together, I usually do it in a certain order, so I will go ahead and do it in that order that I would have done it. So you can go ahead and separate all of these pieces out. If you want to, I have the plastic pieces up here, the metal, the detonator is a piece of wood, so then I have the fabric. And then I will be using this lovely ARF Trooper as my display piece. I will actually be using this ARF Trooper. Hopefully today once I'm done with this armor, create another ARF Trooper for you guys. He's going to have one of these heads. Take off the helmet, and then I'm going to take off the head because I'll need that for something else. So what you're going to do is, and I'm hoping that this video is longer because I changed the setting on my computer. I don't know why I said computer. I changed the setting on my camera, so I'm hoping I can take a longer video. If not, I'll try to edit the two together. That's always been a trouble for me, but I'll do my best. So you're going to take your figure. I recommend getting tweezer bees. You can get these probably at Walmart, Michael's, any craft store. Basically the reverse tweezers, so when you push down they open, and you let go they close, so then you don't have to put any energy into actually holding a piece. And then super glue. I don't care what kind you use. I got this at the dollar store and I've had it for about a month. It's actually gone a long way for $1. Any kind of super glue would work, but that's what I use. So let's get started. What you're going to do is you're going to grab the first piece of fabric, which is going to go down here on the leg. What you're going to do is you're going to put it right underneath the leg. Let me see, I guess what else to point with. Right underneath there where that shadow is, where it's flat, you're going to set it right up against that. So let's go ahead and put a little bit of glue on here. I may try to use some time-lapse stuff with my editing software, so that might happen, guys. Might happen. So you're going to put a little bit of fabric, put a little bit of glue on your fabric, just on the end, okay? And then you're going to place that sucker right there. And then this glue dries very fast, so you're going to get to where you want it. Once it's there, you can kind of push it down a little bit more. Now granted, some of this fabric and pieces will vary in size, so I might actually trim these down just a little bit to make them kind of like that, or a little bit smaller, which might look a little better. But anyway, that's besides the point. Once you get the first piece on, turn it over, apply glue to the second half. So you're going to put it right there in the middle, okay? And then you're going to simply grab the end and then pull it taut against the leg, like so. Pull that taut, you can even dab it a little bit, try to get that glue to dry, let go, and then turn it over, and you have that third piece. You're going to take some more glue, just a little bit. Glue doesn't take, you don't need a lot of glue for fabric. And you're going to fold that last piece down, like so. That is fraying just a little bit. It was kind of messed up before I started, but that's not a problem. You can peel that right off. So that's that. That's how you put that on. I'm actually just going to go ahead and do one side, because once you do one side, you don't really need to do the other one, because it's exactly the same. And it will make this video a little bit shorter, so you guys don't have to watch the whole process. In the future, I probably will do start to finish, probably a very long video, and me doing every single thing to a custom from scratch all the way to completion, but that's not for this video. So what you're going to do is take your knee pad. There's 2 knee pads. Now the way I cut these out, you usually have one for each side. As you can see, both of these, they kind of have a slant to them, and they're both going in the same direction. One of these you're actually going to turn upside down and use it to go the other way, so they'll both be facing inward. So I'm going to take the one that's facing inward, because it's going to be going on the right side. To you it's the left, but it's the right side of the figure. Now when I bend all my metal, I use a paintbrush. A lot of people wonder how to bend it. They ask that question a lot. But you take the paintbrush and then you simply bend it over the brush, like so. It's that simple. Let me get my tweezer bead so I can show you. So that's the bend in it. You can see how it has a bend. Actually, it's kind of really shiny. I'm not sure if you can see right there. About that much of a bend. And then you can use your hand to kind of flatten it just a little bit. You don't want to super bend, because you also want it to be able to go flush against the figure. So once you do that, you're going to turn it around and grab the big part of it, okay? The open end right there is what you're going to grab. And then you're going to place glue on the back where the bottom half is. So let's put a little bit of glue there. Sorry if my head gets into the camera, I can't see where it's at. You're going to put a very generous amount of glue on the end, just so it kind of beads up a little bit, because it does bow. You want the glue to have enough on there to stick to the figure. So I hold them upside down, and then I'm going to place the end of this flush with the tip of the foot. So where the foot starts to pop out, that's where you place the piece, like so. It's almost sitting straight up on that. And now you can see there's a big bend in there. What you can do is take your finger or your thumb and just push down a little bit on there. Or if you take your tweezer beads, you can kind of gently rub it back and forth until it gets a little bit flatter, because you don't want it to be jutting out. That would not be good. So once you have that on there and it's dry, go ahead and just leave that be. So what you're going to do, now I usually start with the arm next, just because the center piece, when you put it in the middle, a lot of times I push down in there in order to do things, and I don't want to bend it in. So what you're going to do is you're going to start with the arm, take the hand out first, because the hand is actually going to be the last piece of the arm that you put on. So let's get him to stand up straight. So you're going to start with the arm. You will grab, let's see, I'll actually have a description in the eBay post of what pieces are what, but you can pretty much figure out by looking at the image. You're going to grab this piece. It's kind of like a triangle. And what you're going to do is take the flat edge, okay, the flat edge. See how it has a slope in it? This top part kind of slants down. You're going to take the flat edge of that, and the flat edge is going to be what's at the very end of the hand, like so, okay? And then you're going to go back to your paintbrush, if I can find it. What you're going to do is bend the very tip of this over your paintbrush, like so. So you have, whoa, dropping stuff. So you're going to have this little bend in this piece. I'm not sure how well you can see that. My hand's in the way. I feel like no angle I'm at, you can see this. You're just going to put a little bend in the end of that. And then you can hold it with your hand. You can hold it with your tweezer beads. Sometimes it works either way. I've had problems with this type of piece before. You're going to put a very little bit of glue, just a little bit, on that piece right there. Okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to set it at the very edge of the hand. Sometimes you might have to hold it, depends on their glue, because like I said, sometimes it dries really fast, sometimes it doesn't. You're going to just set it there for a couple seconds and let it kind of dry. Give that glue a little chance to dry right there. Okay, and then you're going to push down on the top with your thumb. So you put your finger on the bottom, your thumb on the top, and you're going to push down to get that glue to just solidify there. You may lose some skin in this, guys, because there is glue involved, and if it oozes out the side, it will get stuck to your fingers, but don't worry. So once you have the top part glued down, the rest will be jutting out like this, and you know that that's secure because you push down on it, and that's a good sign because you want that to be working. Now, if you put a lot of glue on this first part, when you start to fold it in, fold this piece back, the glue will actually wrap around with it, and you won't need extra glue, but just to be on the safe side, I put a little bit of extra glue. Just get a little dab. Put a little dab, I'm not sure if you can see that. There's a little bit of glue back on there. Now at this point you can take a toothpick, which I have here, which you can use to rub that in a little bit. That's up to you. So once you have that on there, then you're going to finish wrapping that around like so. And then you'll have the first piece of the arm on, which is kind of unfocused, but I hope you guys could see that process of how to put that on. Now this next piece is a little bit tricky. This is the hardest of the arm pieces to put on. You're going to grab this longer rectangle type piece. It doesn't matter what end you grab this at because it's the same on either side. So what we're going to do is you're also again going to take your toothpick, or not toothpick, your paintbrush, and you're going to bend just the corner like that. Okay, bend just the corner just a little bit. And what you're going to do is you're going to try to position this piece, put the arm back down, right in the joint right there. So it's going to go where the figure's elbow would be, okay? And this is going to be at a kind of funny angle. It might look weird, but that's where it has to go. So let's go ahead and try to get this piece applied. Put some glue, just a little bit. Again, like the other piece is the same as this one. You don't need a lot of glue to begin. So you're going to drop this piece right there. And you want it to be close to the side of the body, okay? Again, you're going to let this one sit for a couple seconds if you can. And when you push down on it, I suggest pushing down from the chest angle up and then down. So you kind of bend it a little bit. If need be and you have fingernails, you can push down on that first piece that made contact with the arm to make sure that the glue is dry. And then again, like the first piece we put on is going to be dry there, and you'll have a little bit hanging off the side, as you can see right there. And what you're going to do with that piece is you're going to put a little bit of glue on the back piece of that. I'm not sure how you could see that, but you're going to put a little bit of glue there, and then simply fold it down. Again, when you do that, there might be some extra glue and it might go in your fingers, but don't panic. Just keep pushing. Make sure you're pushing away from, you're pushing where you want to go, because if it gets stuck to your finger and you yank it backwards, you'll rip the piece off. And if you're going to rip some skin off, you might as well get the piece on in the process. So always go with the direction you want to go when your fingers get stuck. So once that's on, we're going to move on to the shoulder pad. Right here, now there's a couple different ways you can do the shoulder pad. I have a technique that I do that I'm actually going to do to this one. You don't have to. It works when you have like commas and pauldrons, or not commas, you have pauldrons and other pieces close to the shoulder where the head is. This technique helps. So I'm going to do that just because I'm going to be using this figure and I want this piece to be like that. You're going to just take some scissors and cut just the tip off. Just like that, like barely anything. You're just going to cut a little bit off the top, just so that rounded part isn't like up in his face. So you can just grab yours out of the pack. You don't need to cut it. Take your paintbrush, go to the thicker part up top, and then push down. And then that leaves a very nice, you can see how that's super bent. And then you're going to push with your hands just a little bit more. You don't want it to be super bent, but you want the initial bend from the paintbrush to be on there. And then you're going to grab one side. Granted, when you do it with without cutting this, you'll actually have two sides to choose from. This one I have to grab it from the bottom half, and then you're going to turn it over and put a little generous amount of glue on the top. Not a whole lot, but not a little. And you kind of have to be careful, but at the same time you don't. But this could get stuck to the figure and it could glue the arm together. So be careful when you're doing this step. Make sure that the arm is straight, because you want the shoulder pad to be straight when you look straight down the figure. You want it to be centered. So make sure the arm is centered. Okay. And then I look from a top angle and I drop it right on there. Just let it go, and the glue will hold it on. And then from this point, the glue hasn't fully dried yet, so you can push it down a little bit. You can angle it now, because you put a little bit more glue, it takes a little bit longer to dry. And then make sure your arm can move like so. Arm is good, and it is not fully dry, but I can position it where I want it like so. And I think that's a good spot, so I'm going to leave it right there. And from all the angles, it looks pretty good. So we're going to stay with that. Now, if it comes off, you can always put glue underneath there and let it drip under. But you wouldn't have any problems with that, hopefully. So we will skip that part, because that's more of a preference than anything else. Put the hand back on if it wants to go. This is a very stubborn hand. Take the gauntlet, which is for the wrist. It's a little small piece. And again, you're going to go right back to your good old paintbrush. Go to the very tip of it, push down. Make sure you do this correctly, because you can actually bend this the wrong way. Because it's a small piece, you can get a crooked bend, and you don't want that. This piece you grab from the center. Whoop. And that just happens. So make sure you grab enough of the center, a little bit back from the center. Make sure you grab enough that it doesn't shoot out of your tweezer bees. Okay. So this piece, it's going to be bent. You're going to put some glue on the under part. Put a little bit of glue. You don't want a whole lot, because you don't want this piece to get stuck to everything, because the little pieces, there's not a whole lot of surface for the glue, so it might get stuck to things. So take this. You're going to take your figure, okay, and you're just going to drop it right there on the wrist. Push it down, and then give it a couple seconds, because this one will come off on your hand. Push down if your finger, your thumb, and then make sure you slide back down with your thumb, okay? And then you can use your fingernail to push on the other half. Make sure you're just pressing down and that the glue is on there. And that is how you put on the armor for the arm. Pretty simple, guys. You just need your paintbrush in order to bend it correctly, and then a little bit of steady hand, and bada bing, bada boom, you're good. Good to go. So moving on to we'll do the belt first. I'm going to put a couple of these pieces on just to make this video go a little bit quicker, because it's already going on 18 minutes. That's a long video. So you're going to take your belt piece, put a wee bit of glue on the very top. You seriously do not need a lot of glue for this, because plastic on plastic dries almost instantly. I've had pieces dry the second I put them down, and I could not move them. So you're going to put a very small amount of glue on this piece, and you're going to grab the very tip of it with your tweezer bees, okay? Or your tweezers or whatever you have. And then you're going to hover it over where you want to go. And I want to go right here in this corner of this one. So because I have the glue at the top, I'm going to put the top down first, and then let go of my tweezer bees. And then while I can still position it a little bit, I'm going to push it around to where I want it, and then push down like so. And then that's on there. That sucker is not coming off. You would have to scrape it off if you want it off at this point. And I've had to actually do that, so make sure you want it where you're going to put it. We'll do one more of these. Now, what I normally do is, with this one, I paint black underneath the belt. So you can see right there, just makes it look more uniformed, and putting the black underneath there it makes it so you don't see the printing underneath it, because the printing underneath will be kind of mismatched, because these won't be in the exact spot where they are on the figure's printing. So you don't want it to look kind of funky underneath the figure, so I just go ahead and paint the whole thing black. Put every one of those pieces on just like that. I'm not sure if that's going to be focused enough, but... And then you just continue going all over there. I have 4 of these belts in each pack. I probably will add a 5th one, depending on how big they are, because some of my figures, like this one, he only has 4, but they're a little bit bigger. he might need 5 to get all the way across. So depending on the size, you may get 4 or 5 of those. Just keep that in mind. So now, of course, you're going to have this piece of fabric doesn't count because that's the other side that I'm not going to do right this minute. This here is the neck guard, and then this is the comma. I showed you guys how to make this, but I don't know if I've showed you how to put it on. So this video is actually going to have a couple tutorials in it, and I'll probably put that in the link. But you're going to take your comma, okay? This one is a little bit, I guess that's straight. It could be a little bit straighter, but we're going to go ahead and put this one on. You can kind of angle it differently, so you make it look a little better. Take your comma, okay? And then you're going to put glue in the very top corner. That's the bottom corner, but when you turn it this way, it'll be the top corner. So you're going to grab it, flip it, put a little dab of glue on the corner, if the glue will cooperate, okay? His hands are up, or just out of the way right there. And then you're going to put it on the black piece right there, the black part. So it's part of the torso, right under there, and you're going to push down. So you just have a little bit of glue. That way, you only need a little bit of glue, but if you don't have it in the right spot, there's a little glue so you can pull it off and it won't hurt anything. So push that on, like so. Then you're going to put some glue on the back part, again the black piece. So we'll put a little dab of glue. That was not a little dab of glue. My glue came out a little faster than I wanted it to. You can see that big blob. Do not want that, so we'll just spread it out. No harm done. We're just going to move it around. Pull it taut right there, and it just glues right there. Fabric glues to plastic very fast, so that's all you need. And then we're going to put a little bit of glue on the other corner, like so. Make sure you just get a little bit. Not sure if you're going to be able to see the shine off of that, but it's okay. And then you're just going to fold it right down. Again, you're going to put it onto the corner. Make sure you're pushing. If the glue doesn't work, put some more on. Push that in that corner. This one I put on a little bit crooked. You can see how it's not on perfectly. I may actually make these commas a little bit longer so you can trim them up a little bit if you like. And then again, see how this bottom piece comes down like that? You can see the piece that wraps around. I will probably make these commas a little bit longer as well so it covers that up, and I will shorten these up so you can't see them like in this figure right here. Those are shorter so you can't see it go around there. So they'll look like this guy, not like this one. So just keep that in mind. I'm just showing you how to apply it. So that's how you apply the comma all the way around. And then the last piece is the neck guard. This piece is a little tricky, but it's doable. What you're going to do is you're going to grab the longer piece of fabric. There's only one piece that's this long. The other two are the exact same length because they go around the legs, and they are the same width. So you're going to grab this piece. Again, you're going to grab it and flip it around. There is a back side to this. You're going to put a little bit of glue. Actually, I take that back. You do not put the glue on the fabric first. You put the glue, you take your head and you turn it to the back of the head. So you find the front, go to the back. You're going to put a little bit of glue right there. And then you're going to take your fabric and then you're going to set it in that glue. You could have probably done it the other way, but this is how I always do it, so I just stick to the way I do it. I'm using a toothpick to push this down because I don't want it to stick to the metal, and I find that sometimes it's a little bit easier to move it with this because it's round than it is to use my tweezer beads. That, and I don't want to get more glue on them than there already is. So you're just going to push that piece down. It should dry fairly quickly. You can always blow on it to try to get it to dry. But as long as it's stuck on there. So what you're going to do is you're going to take another piece of glue, or another bead of glue, put it right in the front, like so. And then you're going to put another bead of glue back where you started, but on the fabric itself, like that. I'm not sure if you can see that, but there's now a piece of, or bead of glue right there, and right there in the front. So you're going to grab your neck guard, fold it around. Fold it around like so, if I can grab it. And then you're going to push it back down to where you started. So you're making a full lap. And that lap is going to go just around the edge of the neck, or the head. I'll show you in this yellow guy. You're going to be applying it to this piece right here, this yellow piece. The little rim around the head is where you're going to be attaching that to. So once you have that all the way around, I usually take my toothpick and kind of go on the inside a little bit to make sure that there's no glue that's still wet in there, because you don't want to put your head on and then it stick to your custom and then you can't get it off, because that would not be fun. I'm going to trim this up just a little bit because some of these are fraying. It doesn't matter if these fray or not, because it looks kind of good when it's kind of all mismatched and kind of squished. So it's going to look something like this. And what you're going to do is, I take this guy's Jarvis. He kind of just does all my stuff, like he holds weapons when I'm painting and whatnot. And I don't really care what happens to this figure. So you're going to take the head, put it on a separate figure that cannot get messed up. Okay? And then you're going to push down hard and push down really hard. And what that would do is that's going to flatten the neck guard and allow you to put the head on like so. And that is how it is done. You can see how it's flattened, but that's how you want it to be, because you want it to, not only you need it flattened so you can put the head on, but it kind of gives it some wrinkles to it, like it's actually bunched up around his neck where it should be. And then you put the head on, and then you are done, guys. Put the helmet on, and that is how you apply one side of the armor. All you need to do is follow these steps on the other side and you'll be good to go. Again, I use some other techniques as far as, like, I paint the arms black before I start, and things like that. One more piece. I actually forgot. 2 more pieces. Wow. Thanks for letting me know, guys. I would have forgot 2 pieces. That would have been a waste of 26 minutes if I didn't finish this video. You're going to take the center piece. Now the center piece comes in. Again, bend it ever so slightly over your toothpick paintbrush. I don't know why I keep saying toothpick. You're going to grab the end of it. Now this piece, you actually need the very top to be flat, but the rest you want to bend. So make sure the top of it is flat as it can be. As you can see, that's kind of flat. And then you're going to put some glue on like so. Right there. I'm not sure if you can see the glue on that reflection. Place centerpiece over the center of the figure. Like so. And then once it's on, I push in the very top with my tweezer beads. If you have scissors or a toothpick, anything you have you can use. What you're going to do is you're going to be pushing on the very top right there to get it to stick on this black piece that goes across the for the belt. You want it to push to that. So you can technically take the feet off and it would be connected to that piece. This gray, I guess the belt piece, that's what it's going to be connected to right there. And just give that some pushes and then you'll be good to go. It's applied just like that. And again, I also put black paint underneath that to look like this. The black paint underneath there to kind of distinguish that there's the undersuit that he is wearing. Turn him over and then you can apply your thermal detonator. Take this toothpick, dowel rod, whatever you want to use. Cut to a specific length and then you can grab this wherever, it doesn't matter. Apply some glue. Again, it doesn't matter where you apply it. You can put a little bead on each side. That's what I'm going to do. Put a little bead of glue on each side of that. And you're going to place it right over where the sticker of the thermal detonator is. Or not sticker, the decal from Lego. You're going to just drop that right over top. This, you'll have a couple seconds to maneuver where you want this. And then just like that, push it. And that's dry. That's on there, guys. I can hold up the whole figure with that. Again, this dries really fast, and make sure you put it where you want it. But don't worry, because pieces like this, you don't use a lot of glue, so you can force them off if you want, and it won't do too much harm to your figure. So that's how you apply that, and all you need to do is just paint it, guys. Just paint it whatever color you want. I generally tend to put a base coat of white down. Unless I'm doing a crazy cool color, I'll usually start with just white. I use Tester's white right here. It goes on very smooth. It's a very nice paint to use. So that's how you apply all the armor now that it's all on there. And then you just put the other side on and you guys will be good to go. Again, I will put a link down in the description of my eBay. I will probably be making these packs made to order, so I won't have a ton laying around. If you guys buy them, I'll make them. Please keep in mind, each one is hand cut. All 20 pieces are hand cut by me. Unfortunately, I do not have a stencil to cookie cut these out, so pieces may vary from size to size depending on the pack. So if you order more than one, there will be a variation between stuff. So with that being said, if you need any more help putting this pack together, please let me know. Again, this video was 30 minutes. Just imagine me doing a video that's an hour and a half and me doing start to finish and showing you guys how to paint it and how to do all that cool stuff. I want to do that in the future, and hopefully I can do some time-lapse stuff in order for the video to go a little bit quicker. But this is just for selling purposes, and so you guys will know how to apply these. Hopefully you can use some of these techniques in your own pieces of metal working and your own customs. I hope some of this stuff helped. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you learned something, please hitchhike it. If you stayed to the end of this video, you guys are awesome. I love you guys. I appreciate it. I will be finishing this ARF Trooper, so leave a comment down below what color you want it to be, and whichever color gets the most comments, or if someone says make it green and it gets like 30 likes on that comment, I'm basically going to do the most popular response. So whatever you guys choose will be the color of this ARF Trooper. So yeah guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to hit this button right up here and subscribe. I'll be having a lot more tutorials and how-tos coming out. You guys don't want to miss those. So that, and if you're the first person to comment on my videos, you will get a shout out in my next video. That's pretty much it guys. This video has been 3 times as long as any other video, so if you watched it again, thank you so much. And then go check out my eBay. I'll put a link in the description, and I think I'm repeating myself now, so it is time for me to go. God bless, and I'll see you guys later.